Greetings to the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, regardless of your time zone. We are Biafrans. As always, we are the children of Chukwuemeka, children of God, the Almighty, the maker of heaven and earth. We, your children, are gathered before you this morning, presenting ourselves before you for you to bless us, guide our leader Mazi and all those that are sick, hungry, and homeless. We pray that you heal them with your magical hands. Also, we bring before you all those that are assisting our leader Mazi and to ensure that we are safe, guide and protect them, and give them the knowledge, the endurance, and the stamina to continue their work. We have no other person to turn to other than to you, Chukwuemeka, and we will continue to remain your children. Regardless, we know we are mischievous, we know we sin. You know the behavior of children. We know we will always bow before you and proclaim your name in the highest. All this we ask in your name. Ise. Today is April 28, 2020, and this is live broadcast from Radio Biafra USA. It's coming to you through our mother station, Radio Biafra London, deputized by Chukwuemeka and under the leadership of Mazi and My name is Mazi Alozie. Let's get on with the issues, the news, things that we see, things that we hear, and things that we think. And we wonder why we are the way we are. We are Biafrans. We are genetically Igbos. And generally speaking, we are Igbos. And that identifies you, regardless of what part of the Biafra land you're coming from. We have passed the stage where we continue to fool ourselves, roam around, and then individualize or sectionalize our plight. And that is not conducive with regard to where we are headed. It does not make for good plan. We look at things globally and we look at things homebound. Who are the most tormented race is the black race. Why? Why is the question. We have had our forefathers brutalized, butchered, dehumanized. I mean, our founding fathers, our ancestors, from the hands of the white people. And we bring ourselves forefront, like up to date. Oh, that is what happened in the past, and we are presently, maybe saying the modern day. We deceive ourselves. Modern day, modern trouble. Is it different from the past? No, it is not. It is the same problem with different applications. There is something somebody wrote, and I carefully looked at it. I read it. After reading it, I shook my head and I said, wonders will never end. Wonders will never end. Our leader Mazi said that black man is foolish. And we wonder where this came from. I don't understand. I personally don't understand. I am shuttling between our founding fathers, great-great-grandfathers, our ancestors, and us. Are we better off, or were they better than us? And I would say they are better than us, because with the limited resources they had, they stood up for themselves. They were able to, upon all the upheavals they went through, they were able to see the future. They were able to defend their land and then say, you, my children, take care of it. Despite the fact that they were given foreign armaments and everything, but they had theirs too. They made theirs. And it is your condition that determines what you do. Your need determines what you do. If you're in a region where there's no water, you decide what to do to get water. And you look at the pygmies in the Kalahari, they have no means, but to them they know that there are roots that store water. They know. So they are not worried. The uses of water is limited when you compare or when you relate it to their mode of living, their standard of living. To us, we will say they are bushmen. To us, we will criticize them. But they have adapted to their environment and they protected it. They made use of what the environment gave to them. They did not try to change the environment. And as you try to change the environment, you alter nature, and it's living one day at a time. You live to prolong life, and at the end, you will die. A population check, natural population check. We said no. We will change it. And you have disturbed nature, you have destroyed it, and you still died. And in the quest to live longer, you are hating other people. You are envious of what other people have. You have failed to adapt to your environment. You wanted what somebody else has. And you have disturbed nature. And these people came. At the end, why are all these things? At the end, the greediness of human beings, regardless of your race, we have created demand for ourselves. We have created things that we don't need. Is it gold? Yeah, we get the gold. The gold bars are there. And it passes on from generation to generation, and we die. And you have the people that are accumulating wealth. They have conditioned themselves to accumulate wealth, and then they determine your future. They determine your faith, how you live and how you die. And we accept it as way of life. But is that supposed to be so? I very much doubt it. Now I'm comparing Tale of Two Cities. I'm comparing the whites versus the blacks. where due to our cultural lifestyle we behave certain way, we act certain way. But they from Europe have certain way of life, and normally it is violent, and they have settled their scores, and they know that partitioning, downsizing is the key to progress. Downsizing is key to progress. You have people that are of different background, and you can put them together. They know that very well. But in your own case, they see you as the same. Why do they see you as the same? Because your skin is the same color. But they themselves have the same color of skin, but they don't see themselves as the same. Can somebody tell me? Can somebody tell me the difference? The world is supposed to be a world where we have civilized policy, live and let live. A policy where human beings are supposed to be treated honorably with humane conditions. And these people are the same ones producing biological and non-biological weapons. For what? They are going to determine whether you live or die. They make policies that favor them and does not favor you. Why? Because they have wants, they have needs, which does not respect your territorial integrity. Needs that does not respect your existence as a human being. But they make laws, they make bodies that will say this is the principle whereby we are going to follow. And are these bodies doing what they are supposed to do? No. Are these bodies functioning the way they are supposed to function? No. They exist in name. They exist in principle, but practically they do something contrary to that. I am laying this foundation to bring forward what somebody wrote. And we from Biafra land, we are very much, as we claim, educated, intelligent, and yes, we are. I don't have any questions about do we have. Yes, we have everything the modern demand can yield. We can meet with that demand. And has it helped us? No. Have we utilized it? No. Did we try to? Yes. What was the result? Killings. You do as we say, not as we do. It is good for you to go to school. It is good for you to go to college. It is good for you to be a professor. It is good for you to be a doctor. But your own doctor, we will not allow it to equal ours. And where are these people coming from? They are coming from a particular region. And why will we give them chance? Why will we give them the opportunity to equal us? The rich gets richer, the poor gets poorer. It is good for every day for us to stay here and make announcements and say things. Yes, it is part of life. We can stay here and talk about COVID-19 and the other name is coronavirus. Are you listening? Are you capturing anything that we are saying? Are you using it? I will come back to it. Our leader Mazi has made series of broadcasts meant for blacks, Biafrans in particular, but for blacks. Have they assimilated what he's saying? No. Are they seeing? Are they hearing? Yes. Does it concern them? No, it does not, because they are not Biafrans. It does not concern them, because they are not the ones being genocidally finished. It's not the part of their country, but individual countries are facing the same fate, internationally and locally. What is it supposed to do? It's supposed to bring blacks together. It's supposed to bring African continent together. It's supposed to bring blacks wherever they are together. Do we have the sense? Do we have the ability to galvanize and bond? No, we don't. And the epicenter is Jisu, Nigeria. Where are the other blacks in other parts of the world from? From Africa. 90% Nigeria. 80% Igbos. Why? In Southeast Asia, blacks, they were shipped from Africa to Southeast Asia. Why are Filipinos the way they are? What is their history? Most of the Southeast Asians, why are they the way they are? They are blacks mixed with whites. And they think they are different. Now they are reuniting. Ghana celebrated with them last week. They have tried to realize where they came from. Then make reference to the color of the skin. Why are our behaviors the same? Why are our foods the same? Why do we behave alike? We have not, as human beings, as blacks, tried to galvanize and bond. And that brings me squarely to village. Our problem starts from our homes, spreads around the village, to the town, and then to the city. And it rages like wildfire. You cannot tame it, you cannot control it. Our quest for success, our quest for progress, to be like somebody we will never be, but we want to be like them. We Biafrans have done so much in Nigeria. And my question is, what have we gained? Why the hatred? Why? Why the hatred? Focus. Why the hatred? Why is it so deep? Why? we have nothing in common. We have nothing in common. But somebody decided that you should all sit together and die. It is a perfect plan. And our forefathers knew it. We are not the same. It will not work. But we try to make it work because we considering our educational achievement and looking beyond reality, we did not look back to check where we're going. We are like champions. We feel unbeatable. But the thing is that I've never seen a champion that lives forever or undefeated. One day the champion will be defeated. Unless that champion don't want to be defeated, he will relinquish his championship. Now I am at the top. I'm not fighting anymore to keep my record perfect. Really practiced, really achieved. Because that spirit in them, I will not be beaten. I cannot be beaten. Drives them and they don't know when to stop. And when they look at you, they say, yeah, I can beat you at any day, anytime, anywhere. But they are not looking at human nature that controls your ability. Until he steps in the ring, and lo and behold, disappointment. The champion is no longer the champion. This is specifically to Biafrans. We have invested so much. We have spread all over the world. But we don't see. We don't look back. We don't know the way leading to our land. We continue to go. We continue to adapt. And we continue to assume different identity. False identity. It's like makeup. Makeup that does not show your real self. Makeup that makes you look different from your exact appearance. And when your real self is revealed, the result is that you have either masked yourself, that you come to believe that this is the way you are, and then you come to deny and say, why didn't I know that this is the way I look? You cannot know because you have deceived yourself. You have presented yourself to people to believe that this is who you are. Funny, that is not who you are. You present yourself to other countries that for the fact that I've lived here for donkey years, I am one of you. No, you're not. They will give you token assimilation. We will assimilate you. We will let you stay. But there will come a generation that will say, this man is not from here. We have no trace of where you've come from. Go back. Go back and make space for our children. Why? Because the generation today are the generation that hate death. Before we accept infant mortality, it's act of God. Okay. And then there came a school that said, no, nobody should die. What happens? Population explosion. People are being born, nobody's dying. We have hospitals, it's good. Yes, I love my children to stay, but how many? 10, the 10 lives. How many? 20 lives. A case in point. One man marrying 240 something wives. Or how many was it? Yeah. With hundreds of children. One man. And what if 60 men do the same? What will happen? What am I saying? In as much as we have adopted the modern theory, the modern belief, we must also find a place for them. And the world is getting smaller. So understand what I'm saying. The world is shrinking. If you have a land and you can't protect your land, you cannot save it. And you are bringing people that have nothing in common with you to come and occupy. And they are the same people killing you. And they are the same people raping your mothers, your sisters, your wives. And they are murdering you. Tell me the sense in bringing them to come and live with you. And the hatred is as clear as daylight. Have you done everything possible to live with them? Yes. Have you succeeded? No. For how many years? Over 200 years. The same procedure continues. And you appeal to the Yorubas, can we peacefully disintegrate? They say no. And the same people are suffering. And they will never trust you, and you will never trust them. And this is the brain of Africans. This is the brain of the zoo. But the downside of it is that when even African countries, the smallest African countries, the medium-sized African countries understand the need to protect themselves, the zoo cannot understand that need. They are still engaged in tribalism. Kill the Igbos, take their land. And the Chinese are coming and they are taking it from you. You rob Peter to pay Paul. And this is where this write-up comes in. I will give you a little excerpt from it. And it makes me wonder, because our people believe in diplomacy, academic, theories that have no basis. They say they want to develop a Igbo. And I said, really? You want to develop a Igbo? And which one is the Igbo? May I ask you? Just like we have a World Igbo Congress, we have a Kwenche, we have whatever names. Okay, they exist. To what benefit? This is particularly concerning this write-up. And says, ought unknown. Until we have achieved that state of being, the desired geopolitical region remains at risk. So we must pursue both tasks together. And the state of being is as follows. We have to do as the Catalonians do in Spain. When they realize that the Catalonians, that's Madrid, will never voluntarily or easily give them independence share, the Catalonians, Barcelona, decided to run or turn inwards and develop their region technologically, economically, and infrastructurally. And now they are the economic powerhouse for Spain. Let me deal with that. All conditions being equal, that is not in the zoo. You have already done that. And that is the cause of your hatred. This is why they don't want you. This is why they hate you, because they know you are capable of doing that, and they don't want you to achieve that. What will it take you to understand that aspect of your write-up? Technologically, you are there. Economically, you are piloting that zone. Infrastructurally, you have all the buildings in Abuja, Kano, Lokoja, Lagos, name it. Has he saved you? And this is why they hate you. If this is the case, why are you writing that? That means you have no brain. You are not thinking. How can you continue to write that when you know that your ability to do these things are responsible for your hatred? And that which you have done have not been rewarded. Rather, they take away from you. And this is the writing of somebody that does not visit home. This is the write-up of somebody who sits in his office to think of imaginary things that will never work. Spain and in Catalonia, they have different policy. They have different principles. They don't cannibalize, but not in the zoo. If a section will kill over 6 million of your people and they have not let up, they are still practicing it, and you are writing this, that means you don't know where you're going. You don't know the situation on the ground. When Germans want to say, they don't go, they just discuss it and separate. No. The EU just broke up. Did they go to war? No. They decided that we're going to break up. And they did, peacefully. You did not make reference to that. You did not. And you're giving yourself the testing with Bayern in Germany. When Germany was declaring itself as a nation, Bayern, that is Bavaria, had the choice to stay out and be a country on its own, like Austria did. Instead, it opted to stay. You opted to stay because they will welcome you. You opted to stay because they will treat you like human beings. You opted to stay because there is no danger of them wiping you off. There is no danger of the other side of Germany coming to occupy your land, coming to kill your grandparents, coming to rape your mother and your father, and your daughters, and your wives. Do you see? You are applying the wrong medicine to the wrong ailment. This is the source of our problem. If you're free, if you're independent, you will be like Bavaria. You will be the most technologically and economically powerful region in Africa. No, they don't want that. They don't want it. What happened to your developments in Aba? All the industries, Mr. Writer, what happened to them? No electricity, no water, nothing, no road. And you are talking about something that have been... Look at the Niger Bridge. Look at it. You don't see the danger. Is this supposed to be so? And the resources are coming from your region. And these are the high class educated people that we have, that apply wrong medicine to the wrong ailment. And the evidence is there that if you break away, if you go on your own, no matter what it costs you, let it be. Because you have sacrificed, you have done everything necessary to belong. But they are telling you, we don't want you, rather we want your resources and your land. Cattle herdsmen, what are they doing there? Is the condition where you make all these things where you have the cattle herdsmen? Last night you had them calling that we are driving the cattlemen away. They want to use your land as roga. And that is where you will be technologically advanced, producing milk and cheese. And then you come to say the same thing is with California in the USA. It is not only the biggest economy within the US, it is also the largest economy in the world, because they agreed to be a state, one country. They all agreed. In as much as each have they have the responsibility and the obligation that they can secede, they have not, because they are welcome. They see the goodness in each one state to the other. But does that apply in the zoo? No. So when you people write to deceive other people, you throw out bits and pieces of carrot for people to pick on it. Say the truth. The same people you are talking about that you want to diplomatically do this and that are the same people that are making mockery of a dead Biafran. I think that was 2019 or 2018. He died somewhere in Europe, either in Italy or London, and then he was brought in. His casket was brought in the church, and then he was blessed to rest in peace. Guess what? The same people that you want to be in the same region with are the ones telling you, oh, your leader is the one being buried. You see the extent of the hatred. They don't wish you any good, despite that you are looking for something good for them. No, they don't want it. The same people have proven so many times that when you fight on their behalf, they will turn back and bite you in your behind. And these are the people, despite hundreds of years you've wasted, you still want to continue to waste and hope that they will leave you alone. When you're not learning, you're not living. And then you're giving me that, oh, if it were suddenly to try, if it were suddenly try to break away overnight to stand alone as a competitor against the rest of the US, things will not be so easy. Nigeria does not fear IPOB as it is. In fact, they want IPOB to challenge them so they can militarily wage war on the Igbos. My brother, whoever the writer is, are you blind? They fear IPOB. If they are not, why do they say they are What is that their name? I forgot, it just slipped my mind. They are proscribed. They don't fear. Why are they fighting tooth and nail? Because IPOB is peppering them. And I don't think this person is a true-blooded Biafran. Okay, maybe you have investments elsewhere, but not in Biafra land, that you want to protect. Are they not challenging us? Are they not having their soldiers killing your own brothers and sisters, shooting them in the street? Because they expressed their right for them to be not to be marginalized. How many military barracks do they have in Biafra land? And as we speak, they are still pushing in soldiers into your land. How much is the estate of Biafra land? And that brings up another question about the integrity of the writer. And then you are saying, you just contradict yourself, and I wonder what what are you talking about? IPOB at present is not the Biafra that Nigeria fears. They fear the Biafra that becomes like Catalonia, like Belgium, like California. That is the Biafra they fear. And where you are leading us is where I said you are contradicting yourself. Because that IPOB, that Biafra that will lead to be like Bavaria and Catalonia, will not come to be if there is no IPOB. If there is no IPOB, you dare not mention the name Biafra. You would have not been, even your writer, you would have not even been able to talk about Biafra, even mention the word. And then you're saying, so they need this militant IPOB to give them an excuse. When did IPOB become militant? This is why the author is unknown. And this is why I have to tackle it. If no one else will, I will. And I don't believe a full-blooded Biafran will write this. And these are the things they write and circulate, and gullible Biafrans will take it, and you spread it. You say, so the militant Biafrans, IPOB. So you are saying the IPOB is militant. They are militants. Yeah? So your credibility is in question. You said they need this militant IPOB to give them an excuse to come and reduce Alibo to Air Westland again and turn back the hands of our clock once more to zero. As of now, where are you? Your land is the less developed. The least developed. And what have you achieved? Nothing. What have you achieved? I'm asking you. Nothing in Biafra land. No industries, no infrastructure, no light. You are a hallucinator. You are a hallucinator, and I question your integrity. And you said, like they did in the last civil war, even if we don't want and don't start any hostilities, they will use the slightest excuse or provocation or accident to send their troops. Britain will support them, and in the end, the USA will establish a military base in Igbo land. And to keep the peace, Mr. Man, you're foolish. You are foolish. You are a fool. If the US wants to have a military base in Igbo land, we welcome it, rather than have Fulanis there. We welcome them rather than have Chinese there. But right now, the Chinese are taking over. The Chinese are taking over. They are killing you with COVID-19, coronavirus. You have to be smart, but you're not. You are weak. We are not weak. Ipob is not weak. We have followed all the necessary steps that need to be taken. If it is what, then let's do it again. You begin to sound like Ohanes and Debo. We don't want war, and that is why we want peace. That's why we call for referendum and all that stuff. Did they give it to you? No. You went for an election. Did you win? No. Did your vote count? No. Rather, they shot at you. They killed you. And these are the things, when you look at them, you say, don't talk about it. No, talk about it, because when people look at it, they'll read it and then they'll set you back. They will set you back. And then you come to write them. As Igbos, we have to conquer our chronic individualism, and we have to pool our wealth, intelligence, and efforts together to turn Alibo into a first world region right here and now. But this is the most difficult thing for us, because we are individualists, and it is easier to protest. Who are you going to protest to? Who? And then listen to you again. The second point is our governors. As much as we don't like them, we have to work on them, and with them. If Ipob mobilizes the people against the governors, the same way it is mobilizing them against the federal government, you will see how fast things will change. Are the governors fools? Mr. Writer, when you have somebody like Uzodimma who went and brought the Fulanis, and the next step was to install an imam, and the next thing is to go and change Imo University to Abakiari, who orchestrated the murder of... Some people are so aggravating that you reason with your behind. The governors you are talking about, is it the governors that will take money, embezzle the money given to them, and don't want you around, don't want your brothers around, will even bring the soldiers to come and shoot at you because you tried to get them out of office? They are the ones that are seeking for your death. And these are the ones you are telling us to go and talk to, despite the fact that our leader made every effort to reason with them. And let me ask you, Mr. Writer, how many states do you have in Biafra land? And how many governors do you have in Biafra land? Do they communicate with one another? Do they talk to one another? No. They hide in their crumbling state. The rich gets richer, the poor gets poorer. I would rather have you come out and talk than write and hide. These are the kind of people we are dealing with. These are the kind of people that our leader will continue to hammer on. But it seems like they live in a different world. Your people are dying. and you are locking them inside the house. They are hungry. You are telling them they can't come out and buy something to eat. You incite fear in them by telling them that they have a coronavirus just to hide at night and bring in Fulanis and bring in soldiers and then erect your 5G. And you tell them you're imposing dusk to dawn curfew from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And then you're telling, you're bringing Chinese to come and destroy the resources, and then you have the oil. Now, this is what you will face in few more years to come, because the demand for oil will continue to drop until it gets to zero. And then one person is simply stealing the resources that will sustain Biafra land, destroying it. They are well groomed to destroy Biafra land, and we rape our land and the resources therein, getting in the hands of individuals. And these people you are telling me that we will gather, they're not the same IPOB members we are telling you to join. I know you are calling us militant, and on the other hand you are telling us, we should mobilize. If the people are united and IPOB can unite the people, because IPOB is very powerful, they must start demanding accountability. Haven't we been saying that? You blow hot and cold. You know we are very powerful. I'm trying to distinguish the two IPOBs you presented, the militant one, which I don't know, and the ones they proscribed, which is the one that's negotiating, telling the world the crimes being committed against Biafrans. Have you rallied around your leader? No. Instead, you rally against. You barely listen to his broadcast. He said, "I will destroy the zoo with the truth." Who is your president? Who is your president? And then you coming to tell me constitute expert groups across every field, from within and diaspora, to develop and advise on the framework for regional development. I have asked you, do the governors talk to one another? And who are these people you're going to talk to? Is it the ones in diaspora that feel that they are safe where they are, they don't care? And then is it the governors that feel that, they will rape the resources of the people and go scot-free? And they destroy the environment, they destroy the land, the resources that can sustain the people of Biafra. They individually hide and destroy the resources. And then they command billions. The billions. And when they die, the billions die with them. They will plunder and loot, and then they will burn the evidence. And you said something here that start dredging River Niger at Onitsha, start developing the dry port at Abia, start now and make it mandatory that every Southeast governor prioritize regional integration. Taxes and tariffs for business must come down to encourage. Computer Village in Lagos is full of Igbos. The governors and leadership should put their monies together and build technology town. And then Professor Bath Naji, with a view to completely electrifying Alibo, put their money together and elevate Enugu Airport to a level higher than Lagos or Abuja. Things like that, developing the Owerri Airport to a full international cargo airport, and take advantage of the central location of Owerri in the southeast. Quality educational institution. Let us build more by collaboration and our foreign diaspora. They are based in many parts of the world. We need a world-class stock exchange in Alibo. We can achieve. A dreamer has a problem when you don't follow facts. All this you can implement when you get Biafra. You cannot implement this without Biafra. I'm consumed with this write-up. So no announcement today, nothing whatsoever. So that if peacefully achieved, this can be leverage with which to control the elected executive and legislative. Who are you going to control? The people sent by the Fulanis. And later on, you started realizing the power of IPOB. Okay? IPOB can utilize its switch following to ensure crime is wiped out. If we are doing things like all this, Arewa will not need to issue quit notice. Ndobu will come back in droves to build up Alibo. Is it beyond the Igbo to venture into modern and very lucrative cattle rearing? Aha. I said so. This is one of the cattle herdsmen. We have our own cattle. We have our own agriculture. It's in progress now. But you need safety environment to be able to accomplish what you are saying. You don't have land, it will not work. You don't have land, this will not work. If we come together, they are here. They are here to get your land. And the priority is saving your land first. We have overlooked our land. We have overlooked ourselves. And we turned outward instead of inward. And this is what we are suffering from. The Igbos are powerful, the Biafrans. The eastern region, very powerful. Accept who you are and deal with it, or else you will be history. Soonest, not too far from now. Point to understand is that they don't regard you as human beings. You have to have Biafra and show them what you're capable of doing before you will regain your pride. I will give you part of this tomorrow, and I'll give you references from Harold Wilson. So when you write and when you think like an intelligent diplomatic person, think and look downwards first before you start looking up. Our leader has told you what he wants you to know. And that is the truth. Whether you like it or not. You must have the land first. You must secure your land first before you unveil your majestic plans. Right now, your land is in the hand of Abuja government. And they are implementing it with the Fulani cattle harassment. People that have no land, they have no region, but they are occupying your land with the help of your governors you want us to talk to. The same people that have conspired to waste you, you will be a victim as well, whether you like it or not, regardless of your camp, whether you are with them or you are not with them. When all is said and done, you will be a victim. The call number is +1 484 767 0848. +1 484 767 0848. There is nothing that need to be done in Nigeria that we Biafrans haven't done. We have done it all. What did we get? Hatred, killings without any regret, without any hesitation. And somebody will come out right. IPOB is your eye and your nose. Caller, your name and where you're calling from. Caller, your name and where you're calling from. Mazi, good morning. Something is wrong with your line. Yeah. Are you driving? Mazi, hang up, I'll call you. Okay, yeah, it's better now. I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. My brother, thank you for what you're doing for us today. And thank you, good morning from here, dear friends. Wherever you are, as long as playing an active role for this region. I want to appreciate all of you. Mazi, I guess it's too much for you this morning about all the everything you want to do. I don't know how else we can talk about this, You see, one of the challenges, or rather the problem that we have in all this, is that these old forts, I call them, all these old forts that are supposed to be supporting their children do better. They always think they know it all. Okay? They always think they know it all. With all these people that call themselves professors, yes, but all these big names and professors, how come they have, in their education, through their schooling, how come they have not heard about the grand theories of Maslow? Because I know that Maslow, regardless of whatever somebody can say today, his theory on the hierarchy of human needs cannot be pulled down. And this is why it's called the grand theorist. This is, instead you can pull that postulation, you build on it. Mazi clearly stated that there is hierarchical order of human needs. And soon you miss any of them, then you are in a mess. First is the physiologic need. That means if you are alive anywhere today, that's the first thing that the best thing that will happen to you. Not money, not development, nothing. Not wife or children. The first thing for you in life is to be alive. And second is safety. Second in line is safety. Before any other thing, before you go out and building, before you start money, before businesses. And that's what we have got wrong for all these years. Because people think they can develop without making that where you're developing is safe. Is it safe? Because after you develop, a criminal come and say, "Oh, this is not yours again," and they kill you. You are gone. Is it not a celestial or whatever that signed that? How did he say about I am the Paco? I mean, how else can you begin to explain these things? And we have lived all these old men confusing the youth, confusing people who are supposed to how to bring in new information for them. We have the witness stewards. We have this what is now innovation. I want that program where they say they want to develop all these places. They forgot one thing, that before you even put an airport in any part of that eastern region, the federal government has to approve it. And I thought stupid federal government, the structure they have in that contraption can never allow them to open nothing, to build the airport or build the airport or whatever, to even build their roads. Have we not seen so many times that individuals wanted to build or repair the federal road and they say, "Oh, you can't repair it"? So I can't understand why these people don't have this common reasoning. I guess the mental people that need to go to their retirement homes. Okay, you recall this old professor that was part of this 1999 Constitution, but Professor Mazi. Okay, you recall when our leader was outside there in the contraption, how he was hugging and petting and nurturing him and praying for him. And then all of a sudden, you saw him with articulated. He was grabbing articles as a baby. And you can't blame them just because they are old, they cannot understand simple concepts. Okay, and we have the man is one of the because he is always a professor. People always hang around him, thinking that he knows it all because of his. We understand that he's one of the guys that put this new what is it called, NYC, the Saudi squad that they go and they give the food. Yeah, he was one of he was the grand. That was how many years ago? Okay, we give him credit for that, but we should give way. And we just know that he can do all this shit. I saw a long letter he wrote to some young they alleged killed some 400,000 and she had the meat. Okay? When people have the guts to bring in their cows to their village and run over their crops and everything, and the youth took an action and they are alleging that the youth killed the cow and she had. If you see the letter, if you read the letter that this man was writing to the criminal, you will see how complacent they are. People need to step out the way and take their responsibility. If you don't know what to say, keep quiet. To do what they're supposed to do. What is going on? What is difficult in understanding that without safety, without Biafra, without respecting that we are human beings, without allowing us to agree to be part of that contraption. And none, all these things we are talking is just by the way. We've seen how they do things and how they jump on one another. So they're giving examples with California. They are not going to tell you that California has their own. They are not going to tell you that how their own state police. If you're LAPD, you can, even if you're FBI, you cannot just come here and pick up somebody in Los Angeles without being reporting to LAPD. They don't know that they are not telling people that there's county sheriffs, which is also the county police. And things are arranged in such a way that powers are better controlled and balanced. They always want to give references without telling the people the truth. We are here now in how this is wrong. My brother, I don't even know what came this morning because sometimes, when you're looking at this thing, you don't understand how our brains. Our leader always say that the brain of African man needs to be taken to a lab to see what is actually going on. To see what is going on. And that's why I'm going to stop this word, my brother. I just want to commend you and ask you and say you're already participating. Stay where you are because they tell me what you're doing. Be truthful in all you are saying. And more importantly, humble yourself. God in heaven will take us home, regardless of all the distractions. Mazi, thank you very much for you.
Thank you, Mazi. Thank you very much. Thank you. That is the copy. We like to copy. We like to be like California, but you don't have the means. It's not there. Biafra first, before any other thing. If not, nothing you dream about is going to happen. It will not happen. They have sworn to destroy you, but you have forgotten that one. The call number is +1 484 767 0848. Caller, your name and where you're calling from. Good morning. Welcome.
My name is Chukwuemeka. I'm a native of Ipob State. I beat my leader on the column. I give this man that has government at this time to remove us from slavery in the name of Nigeria. I don't know, maybe the name of this Judas Iscariot who write this nonsense. This man, Judas Iscariot, who wrote this nonsense. I don't know how many years has lived on earth in Nigeria to know what is Nigeria is all about. I witnessed the war. I work under boys' company during the war. Since I started life and wearing Nigeria till today, anybody telling you to be a Nigeria, the person is causing you. The worst thing that can happen to somebody is to call you a Nigerian. Because there is no thing like moving forward as far as Nigeria is concerned. Nigeria is the worst thing that can happen to any woman that is living on earth. For somebody to come and mess through himself up, now I will tell you, I don't know your name, but maybe you are hearing my voice. The money you collected and writing this rubbish, you will not eat the money. Even though you eat the money, even though any property you bought with the money will finally disappear and you will die miserable life. Your family will be like Rosodima after you have died, because both of you are working together to make sure the Fulani complete their agenda. Nigeria is the worst thing that can happen to a human being. No matter how long it takes us, we will remain where we are. Our leader will remain where he is. Because Nigeria is a cursed country. Nigeria is the worst black race country. Even Cotonou, even Togo, even all the whole African countries are 100% than Nigeria. Look at what is happening, and somebody will come out from a corner writing nonsense because you collect money. Thunder will fire you and fire your family. And you will not live life and eat the money which you are good. That is my promise to you. Thank you very much, Mazi. You have saved yourself. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All hail Biafra.
Where are you coming from? Caller, your name and where are you calling from? The call number is +1 484 767 0848. Let us look at the way people operate. Okay, people hide in a corner and they throw out possibilities that are not feasible, things that cannot be done, things that cannot be achieved. First of all, you talked about militancy of IPOB, and then the next one you talk about the same IPOB that everybody is supposed to rally around, the same lion that's gripping everybody. and you just put them on the side. Call out your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning, Mazi. Alozie.
Good morning, Ben.
Yeah, nice to talk to you this morning. Nice to hear your voice. God bless you for the good work you're doing for us.
Bless you too.
My brother, I know that Southern Africa got you here. I think I'm to read everything you were saying. And after I wrote and rejoined immediately. Number one is that he's comparing apples and oranges. Things that have no comparison. Every example he put up forward has no basis for comparison at all. What he was prescribed, obviously, the man does not have the full story of Nigeria in his fingertips, so he was just a blabber. And again, for the fact that he didn't expose who he is, shows that he's a complete moron. So he's just an idiot, who wants to waste his time and write jargon. Garbage in, garbage out. A fool that does not understand anything about history. And even the current situation of things in that country, because according to Mazi, Emmanuel said, he does not have the grasp of he doesn't know anything about Nigeria. He does not, because he should have known truly well. He doesn't even understand what the problem is. So he was just running out of without any experience. And this is one of those things we've been crying about. Our problem is our people, particularly those that are living in Lagos. These people that live in Lagos literally call themselves negotiants. That's what they call themselves. And in that circle of people, I have people that I'm very close to, and I keep asking them. I've never seen where people are rejected and they continue to force themselves in there. You are not wanted. What are they going to? What do you need as a proof when they cut off your head before you know you're not wanted? Look at the bombing. Look at everything that is going on there. Talking about building this, building that. In what environment are you going to build? When there are pyramids all over your place, there's kidnapping going on, there's killing everywhere. Where on earth, like Chukwuemeka said, where in the whole of Africa, where what is happening in Nigeria, even in Somalia, it's happening now. You are driving on the road, all of a sudden some group of idiots with uniform who are not even army people, with sophisticated military machine gun, they will come out and start shooting at the moving vehicles. That's in their vehicles. From nowhere. Such an insecurity, you can't even move anywhere. Why do we have foreign investments in Nigeria? Because the environment is a place they can never operate on. The only industry we have in Nigeria is the oil and gas industry. You just fly the helicopter to the spot, take what they want, and they fly back to Abuja to their safety of their environment. I've been to Chevron yard in Greece. Go there and see massive structure and the kind of security that is mounted there, going on the top of the roof and everything. And the big butter that surrounded it, if you go in there, you can't come out. We're not talking about the electronic jets, how they safeguard themselves. How can you do any business in that contraction called Nigeria? There's no law. The people that are supplying electricity are in cahoots with the people that are supplying generators. They are using Nigeria to sell generators all over the world. They refuse to give us electricity because if you give them electricity, the business of generators will go down south. Nigerians were almost threatened to be kicked out of Ghana because they went there trying to bribe the Minister of Mines and Power to be giving him percentage of the protect the electors so that he will start taking life in Ghana. Nigeria, because just expose them. I wanted to kick every Nigeria out, do business in Ghana. Our contraction is gone. There is nothing in Nigeria anymore that is available. And every year it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. Now we don't really have a leader. people will come out and tell you this is illegal, this is this. Authority power is coming from everywhere. Tomorrow is the governors who will say, from the presidency to now, we don't have a president. Nothing. People are not saying this. And everybody is laughing at us. We are like a laughing stock. Instead of people to get up, stand up, and say enough of this nonsense. We have very bad trying to collide and continue to get what they're getting and keep Lagos the way it is, so that every port will be shut down. The Fulanis are there stealing anything they can steal for a lawyer. And then we have governors who are telling their own people, go to China, anybody who wants to give them money, and they sell anything for you. They don't care about their own people. So all very place, we have corruption all everywhere. All to the detriment of everybody that lives in that place. The Chukwuemeka drama in fear. It's not even Nande and IPOB, I must say this. Is helping to turn things around and prove to them that there is power out there that is greater than mankind, that is responsible for the existence of everybody. You will see what is going to happen. It's coming up gradually. We are getting there. You will look at it every time. You sit down there, nobody knows where he is. Every time, nobody knows where he is. You learn that. So, after I read that, I was just, in fact, this is good. These fools, I don't know why they think they will continue. They think that they can deceive people. You are deceiving somebody who is smarter than you. How could that be? How is it going to work? You know, Ghana, I think yourself, the today. They don't even know the reason. They don't even know my thing is going on in Belgium. He's probably hasn't gone home for the past year for 15 years. Talking about one Nigeria and doing this, doing that. My brother, let me know by your time. But somebody else talk. God bless you, my brother.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Okay, Mazi Alozie, I salute you. Yes. This is Mazi Alozie on the line. Can you hear me now?
Mazi Alozie, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, and you? Okay. So, I tried to restrain myself from calling, but I couldn't, honestly, because of the article you read. You understand? So, the issue is this. In this Radio Biafra platform, Radio Biafra London, this is where we invite people. It doesn't matter your argument or your belief. Bring it here. Call here. As far as you call yourself an intellectual, you can call here so that you put up your idea. Either you are pro-Nigerian or it doesn't matter. Now, so that we shall discuss it, because we allow superior arguments to defeat. That is the only thing. If you can convince us that being in Nigeria will be the best, you call instead of hiding under anonymity to dish out lies and something that is not tangible. That is not going to help you. That is why I always look down on so-called Nigerian intellectuals. It doesn't matter whether they are from Biafra land, it doesn't matter whether they are from Audutuwa or Ariwa, it doesn't matter, they are all the same. Their way of thinking is very shallow, and that is why Nigeria is where it is today, because they don't look at the reality. Somebody that is telling us we have to stop this agitation because it will bring army to invade to do this. Have they not been doing so? They will do what they did in 1967. Does it mean that because of what happened before, now you have to remain slave forever? Do you know how many revolts that took place during the transatlantic slave trading? Do you know some people revolted and they were quelled, but they continue until eventually slavery was abolished. That is the thing. But this mentality of our people that we shall continue being slaves until one way or the other things will be fine in Nigeria with the Biafrans. It is far from the truth. It is just, you are in Cloud Coca land, I tell you. That's why I like to all these so-called intellectuals, if you engage them, they are always on the run because they know that they have no point. What they are saying, just they write anything and go to, they dish it out, and some gullible people will be, rigmarolling, talking about it. That is rubbish. Now, how can you develop our land? How can you hold governors responsible in our land? Is it governors that you elected or those that have been imposed on us by the federal government, by the Fulani Caliphate? If you dare do anything or rise up against them, it is the same thing as even rising up for Biafra, because they will call their Fulani masters to send military and they will kill people because you didn't put them there. The governor of Ebonyi State said it pump and plain that, look, I am not here in order to do the wishes of the people. We are here to defend the tenets of the Nigerian Constitution. It doesn't matter. So now what else do you want to hear? How are you going? There is no seaport. Look at, because of Amoteku, the Fulani Caliphate threatened Yoruba, Oduduwa, that they will open seaports open in Biafra lands, and they close it. They close. Amoteku disappeared under 1 minute. Now, are you going to open, even if you have the capacity of opening a seaport? Let's assume, as a region, as an individual, you need authorization from the federal government. Can you do it? Can you open international airport as an individual? All these people that are dishing out all this rubbish, how can you come back to develop our land in Nigeria, whereby any machinery or anything you bring, it will pass through Lagos? Before reaching the east, you will be frustrated to even leave it in either in Ore. Leave it for them, because you will be frustrated. How are you going? Are you going to build a power company in Aba, whereas they will cut giving you gas to supply the power company? That is the reality that these people should understand. That we are in slavery, in a mess in Nigeria. What we are doing is just to get the land first. Once we get the land, now we start talking about the bridge. You cannot develop as a slave. It is not possible. It's highly impossible. You have to liberate yourself first. When you are talking about giving an example of this and that, just like Mazi said, remember that the way the United States is structured is not the same way, in as much as they are states, but they combined. It is the 13 states of the United States, the first 13 colonies formed the state, agreed to come together and fought for independence from the British. That is it. Now from there, other colonies started joining. It is not so, but in the case of Nigeria, somebody in Donald Barracks in Abuja just stayed and after drinking his Kura de Nuno, he said, okay, now bring map, divide it with ruler. This place now is Delta, the other side is Anambra. He doesn't know the reality on ground. They did it, for conspiracy, in order to make sure that they divided us. That is the thing. So we have no control at all. Our governors, okay, he's talking about holding them responsible. Well, our people held just a simple asking question in Germany of Chukwuemeka. Now he's a senator in our land normally, but do you know how now all the vultures they came out from Fulani Caliphate, from Oduduwa land. Now he's no more a senator representing a part of our land. He becomes a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. How can you hold a governor of the Republic? They will tell you that he's a governor of the Republic of Nigeria. Thereby, all hell will break loose. That is what we are talking about. We are talking about a place in order to be able to control our destiny, our political and geographical fates. From there now you can bring development. How can you bring development whereby you import something from Apapa Wharf or Tinkan Island, and now you transporting it, the transportation you pay from what you paid for the transportation from USA or Europe to Apapa Wharf, it will be doubled. What you are going to pay from there to Aba or to Onisha, it will double. So So that is what we are saying. So all these people, let them come out and call and talk on radio. Let them convince us on their own view so that we reply them. Thank you very much. Because what they are saying is not tenable. It's not attainable. Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you, Jonas. The call number is +1 484 767 0848. It's the dreamer. And I question the authenticity of the writer. I do question it. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Hello, my Jonas. Good evening.
Good morning from here. Your name and where you're calling from?
Mazi. My name is I'm calling from Gosa. Mazi, I just want to comment on something that is bothering me so much for it. I don't know what is happening to Alozie. For over 2 months now, we don't hear anything for, and for this kind of critical time that we are now, Alozie is not supposed to be off. Because, like our broadcaster, our leader broadcast on Wednesday, Monday, Sunday, they finish today. Now, Facebook, and the consumer our money for data, whatever. So make them try. Anybody who is in charge of equal charity, let them try and let our radio to be on. The thing is warning us for here. Please.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pass the message, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Yes, those relay stations, sometimes they break down, and the soonest is repaired, the better, because people like they don't like to be in the dark. Now they like the news. They want to be on top of it. Caller, your name and where you calling from? Your line is off. It just went off, so the network is not good. Network is dropping. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, Mazi Alozie, good afternoon from here, WhatsApp Poland. This is what I'm Mr. You are correct. I am from Omaka, is the main now, the province of Biafra. Mazi, any other protocol is observed. Mazi, you see our people are very, very difficult to human beings. Somebody was on the line talking and they continued calling, and we have been saying this every time. You target people when he's saying bye, you will know when that person is going out. Then your number will come in. Not interrupting people that is making sense or talking. It doesn't work for us. We have to learn something. We are here. Let us learn and be useless in this platform. Mazi, aside that, I have to tell my beloved Biafra all over the world that I have been blocked again. These people unblocked me on 23. Today is 3 days. They have blocked me again. So please, all my friends Facebook that blocked me again, I don't know when this will be again. I can get me on Twitter is best, because we are hitting them very, very hard. We don't care, but we are getting there. We continue to hit them. Mazi, like what is trending now? Mazi, if you talk from here, I am calling for Omaka. Mazi, what we need in that country, that our side now is a revolution. That is the only LCM. Otherwise, these people will not stop, like Bob rightly said. We did not put them there. They don't have our mandate. They don't have us at their mind. It's only we can vote for now. But every other interest there, they are there because of the Fulanis. I will say it before, before Chukwuemeka, I never knew. I can never in my wildest imagination anticipate and say that this Yoruba at this point in time can decline from Omoteko simply because of the threat. They told the people that they will dualize or open our airport in Biafra land. But at the same time, what must be. I can't those airports must be open at the right time. This is how they come handshake at Niger. So now who is deceiving who? The handshake at Niger and the Mexico, where are they now? They are not under dream. Now it's too bad. What we believe now in revolution, Biafra must come. But when we cannot stay here and watch somebody like Omoro, that devil, destroying our Biafra land because that place he's sitting, that is the treasure, that is the treasure of Biafra land. He has almost sold everything to China. He has almost taken all the companies there, and this is what we are talking about. So they let them be ready to kill us because people are coming. We are praying for this corona to pass. Haga home care to be active. Mazi because Abo also be our people are going through hell. These people are subjecting us, they don't regard us. Let them be ready, Mazi. It's simple as that. I have to leave here because I'm very, very annoyed now, Mazi. It's getting too much. I need to call the man can't. They don't want to show any center. IPOB and Mazi Nandikano, even being there has given them ample opportunity to them. No, and they could have taken them down. On our they continue doing the work every day by day. Maybe they don't go to my boy here. Let them know that Biafra land is boiling. No connect up off and don't deceive you. Okay, I have to drop here. But I got how whether cut you or that is our land and we must defend it with anything. I said it means let me sleep outside. I don't care. Only has the said it. That time Biafra there human is better. Again I forget then let it be on record that we fought for our motherland in the street. Now I'm gonna be Mazi Korean I'm very annoyed now. Okay, sorry.
Thank you very much. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, Mazi, good evening, the day of Kaiser. Mazi, Chukwuemeka, I remember I think that telling you from the children, we get up present at common Tuesdays and other social present. The people to have my blood here and just our clearly the Mazi and then they could come and get it to Mazi to have my phone. And our other directors of the Mazi chief to the and the all Biafra who are working at the the Chukwuemeka and my brother and the Chukwuemeka is thank our readers so much for educating us, for telling us what we have forgot, what we don't know. Our reader Mazi and the is educating us. And for the last vote out on Sunday, the only thing we say concerning you is true. No one is not true. All we say concerning the Jew, all of them is true. Maybe the one that is parading as a reality to is true. And for the Abakayare, the man, the prayer is not Abakayare. And everything our leader said is true. And they mind the people that are saying that they receive and bringing information to our reader. Our reader is a man that is receiving message from Chukwuemeka. No calibrate is giving him information. For that, we're telling our people and we remain resolute. We cannot surrender, we cannot retreat, we cannot surrender. We are a Biafra and they will very few the random people to Kajama. This is the restoration of Biafra we come to reality. We are devising our people whenever you are. Make sure that you enjoy IPOB because it's very you to survive in this terrible time because nothing else except the freedom of humanity, which is the freedom of total restoration of Biafra. And our leader said, is the right miracle that will happen of us. And we say, and this is what will happen. Because many things are happening in this time around, is during the time that is the last miracle, and then we take our people continually, all of them continue to support for the restoration of public sovereign state of Biafra. Thank you. I sign up here in the Biafra progress. Not this is a good guy. I remember
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mazi Ezogadema. Caller, your name and where you calling from. Caller, your name and where you calling from. Your line is gone, so get this one. Caller, your name and where you calling from.
Hello, Daddy. Good evening.
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah. It's only give me a few minutes to 4 o'clock this day.
Yeah.
Let's thank you, sir, for taking call. And I want to thank every IPOV and all the peaceful leaders of IPOV and also the lovers of freedom too. Maybe honestly, I think meet up with your topic on this platform today that I overheard our uncle speaking from US, our father. What's the name? Our uncle, yes. I'm proud of them when they talk on air, and I get much more inspired because I know we have people that none can be compared to them. It's not about having it. It's not about having the information that played the IPOV's should I say the strategy. It's all about utilizing it judiciously to make sure that humanity is safe from every endangerment. And for me, to be proud of them means they have it and also they are utilizing it. Because when I was listening to him, it was the first thing that I've been thinking so well. I don't know why this thing is sit down and compromise our social welfare, our economic convenience, our religious self-ness, a lot of things including. When people come and they engage themselves in the business like generator and shower, whatever, it also means they have never believed that a time will come that such thing will be wiped out and we will make use of alternative or competitive resources as such that will reduce our expenses in giving into power supplies in our local areas here. So these are the things. When I listen to them talk to me on air, I know that we have people a lot of them who are wasting their talent out there. Because when this is restored, they will show their skills and they will show up their gifts. Because I know they can't talk and say all these things without replicating it down here when the time comes. So I'm always just trying to go on air to appreciate them and to tell them that nothing of whatsoever or then they will need for us to enjoy those promised land. I don't know how to say it. I think yesterday the things you asked me to do, I tried. I don't know what else to do. I asked other people if they are getting me Facebook. They said yes, but I know I will still try again. But that's been the actual name I use on my Facebook, even when I convert it.
No problem. I'll do it again. Okay.
Okay, Daddy. Okay, and also I want to suggest to us down here, the FPP in Biafra land here. There is one point I called from Lagos and was complaining about the radio, whatever. Please, those of us who have smartphone, though my own smartphone, but I'm managing, I just went and scratched it. I don't have a good phone, But at least if you know you can access it a little, when you get information, just try and reach out to your media and your unit and see if they can pass it as a message to us so that we'll be updated on what is happening. In case of incapacity, you meet those miscreants who call us miscreants. Challenging you can defend yourself with a word or with the exterior word of argument when you engage with them. So this is the only thing I want to say for now. Thank you, Daddy, and bye from here. I love you.
Love you too. Thank you very much. Thank you. Caller, your name and where you're calling from.
Good evening, Mazi. Alozie.
Good morning.
Thank you for picking my call. Your line is so busy today, Mazi. I've been calling. Immediately you open your line and I've been calling. It's over 1 hour now. That is
Great.
Welcome.
My name is, thank you, sir. My name is Mazi Obi. I'm Bosnia from Abakaliki province. The native of Ekulumiri is in Imeri province, Biafra land. Mazi, we shall be well with you for always being there for Biafra. The Chukwuemeka Abiyama bless you. Your generation will always appreciate you, sir. Mazi, I will also appreciate my supreme leader, Mazi Nnamo Ndekano, the only man who gathered voluntary journalists across the world, and his primary aim is to restore Biafra nation in order to end the sufferings of his people. I say we shall be with him. He said, Mazi, before I give my little contribution, I must apologize for not being active in the media for the past couple of weeks as a result of critical assignments I was attempting. Now, during your analysis, I had you asking questions. Why did it? Why did they hit us after we have contributed heavily in the contraction called Nigeria? I had you asking that question over and over again. Now, the answer to that your question is because we are blessed by Chukwuemeka Abiyama. The answer to that your question is because we are hardworking people. The answer to that your question is because we are blessed from every angle. Now, the answer to that question is because we love ourselves, but we pretend that we hate ourselves. That is the main issue that is causing that stage. But Chukwuemeka Abiyama was focused on so that we have the another thing I want to say is concerning a woman who always calls from Spain. That woman is from my province, Imeri province. Mrs. Ojuku is the longer I haven't heard from her. I hope all is well. At the same time, I am calling from the people from Ekulumiri, Oga, Unidi, Ekulobia. I want them to wake up. Let them call the radio. If you don't have anything to say, at least call the radio and appreciate the people doing the job for us. This is my contribution. This is my Mazi. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. All hail Biafra.
Thank you very much. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
From here. My name is Chukwuemeka. I'm calling from the USA. I'm a good Mazi, I want to comment on about the issue of what our leader last broke out regarding the Yorubas. At least when somebody do wicked and you see the people you are doing wicked to, they are progressing, they are going, you have to have everything. Like some stupid Yoruba people they want to argue here. Igbo should go, Igbo take Lagos. Okay, why are you people blocking us for the seaport in our land? Why are people blocking the airport? People think that if it is the Igbo land, if it is the Biafra land, that no embassy, if it is a Yoruba governor that they have embassy, have seaports, everything become congested. The Igbo man, yes, nobody will say the stupid mother could be so sweet. But Igbo, Biafra will say no. Let us spread it like this. Let us have embassy. Let us have embassy in Biafra land. Most people national airport in Biafra land. All the seaports shut down, and you won't go to place you, and they say you have a double here. Olimbo, also fire, all these fire, all these fire ministry, all these Yoruba churches, private jet owner, and you say you are here from God. God, you God like your God, and you are hearing at the way. You don't like organization. You like God like operation. Okay, the way. Somebody came to this testimony. How the world 2019 election. And then how far? Can't you tell Nigeria where Osimhen is now? You see why people have to understand the Yoruba people are not the people that will take it to heaven. These people, they are all Obama. I was born and brought up with them. Yoruba is not born Christian from child, never. They just come after the war. What's in embassy? In Biafra land. All the international airports, they shut down. Okay, last time Ethiopia Airlines to Kai from Enugu. Ethiopia Airlines to China used to be 320,000. Ethiopia Airlines from Lagos to China, 280 still yet. The Biafra that are taking from China. We don't know that we don't know that country again. What you about do again? And now we need to be a slave master, the Fulani. Let them shut the nuclear port during the innovation. What kind of innovation is going to do in the port for more than 6 months? But you know, the borders and the border there, they shut it down. Because you know that Yoruba are not doing protection. It's the Biafra. Just to marginalize, to wicked us. I think that God will pay you people back. People will suffer. Because people will derive joy. They will get our evil people. People will derive joy even in America here. You go find, I don't know the why. What are you about? I will ask that thing. What is the problem? This is tell us the problem. Who can apologize? I tell people from day one, I don't want to betray us. I don't want people who are giving you scholarship to America. And today now, we are all over the world without scholarship. Don't you know that when you wicked somebody, God will surely defeat, fight for the person. Like now, China news are fighting for us to go at their Biafra. It's what happens when we know back and go. That's what we call this time around, this generation, for Biafra. And every time you go, we refer us to 1967. 1967, you don't fight us, we fought the British and Soviet Union. Everybody you know that they can't defeat us. In 1986, we do water, we see them in water. We see them in water, not because that Igbo or this business or nation Igbo. Sell the youth of the water house back in 1976. Okay? Everywhere, if you are still inside, they cannot defeat us. That Lagos, if you want it tomorrow, you can't defeat us there. So better you chill. Put down. Only that say, we think you destroy is your problem. All you know is $8 per barrel. If you want to, you be more, you no more to see that you see protection. What happened here? A woman, different woman, made Jonathan to become president, make Nigeria to enjoy peace after Yadua. And now, all the Tinubu like Mohammed can't do what a woman do. And you see them eradicate the Biafra in this generation, Yoruba. This door up here can sacrifice ourselves to correct this. Correct the Fulani plan against Jonathan. Don't you think that Mazi can help you be Abika than you people? Let me leave it here, but we are watching, you can't record everything to you for ever. One only thing we thank you, Mazi.
Thank you very much. Call out your name and where you calling from.
God bless you, sir. My elder, Mazi Alozie, God bless you.
God bless you too.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Notwithstanding your time zone. This is your humble brother Mazi calling from Biafra province. I appreciate you, People Kadam, for what he's using this great platform to do. I also thank my elder Obi, Jonathan, and all of you that have analyzed that letter, will I call it letter or contribution that no person contributed, which by the grace of God will remove such people where they belong to. Why I just call? Because all of you in fact, Mazi Alozie, you just summarize the whole thing. At the end of the day, whoever, whether he or she, that thing he wrote, he will experience it, he will face it. But what I want to reveal is, based on how it being revealed, no other person, no other group of people that can write that kind of thing, if not the people whose blood are contaminated. What do I mean by that? That's why I marveled. That was I acknowledge that it's Chukwuemeka sent our leader, Mazi Kano, having associated and having a relationship with the Yorubas. At the end of the day, he maintained his stand. He very smooth going there. It's only somebody that Chukwuemeka sent to do that. No other human being, I'm just telling you how it is. No other human being that wrote that is that person, whoever wrote that is will be a Biafran. But the unfortunate thing is that Biafran is either married to Yoruba or have Yoruba in law. Go anywhere. I'm just opening our eyes. Whoever write that thing have relationship with Yoruba.
That is how, at least I'm talking based on experience and from revelation. Whoever wrote that thing has either or have connection to do with Yoruba. Either he's married to Yoruba or Yoruba people married them. There is contamination, and that is the way they reason. And that is the way they reason. And you will think that you are with them. At the end of the day, you will see that they will bring that Yoruba blood that has been contaminated. They will bring it, always bring it. As I'm talking, check all the Biafrans who have relationship with Yoruba, either married to Yoruba or, have in-laws Yoruba. See, at the end of the day, it's only our leader that's why I believe that Chukwuemeka 18. But another thing I want us not to relegate to the background, that is where the key is now. Because that is where the main key is. That standing order that our leader gives to us. If we want to save this situation, that is to settle this case once and for all, if the international community, the Western world are putting blind eyes, and when we do it, when our leader said, that is the implication of must. Not to do things as maybe, you have outgrown that one. Scientifically, that is the brain of to show that God is going to use us to show the world the wonder. That is what we are going to repeat. To unleash that person wherever we see him. Wherever we have just how to organize intelligently, how to, when we are getting to him, automatically unmasking it, not to fight with that people. We just expose him, either with hand or whatever we use, or to open that mask. We make sure that we succeed in opening it first. The world will see, so that the whole world will be put to shame. When Chukwuemeka is telling us that at the end of the day, the whole world, our leader is telling us that at the end of the day, Chukwuemeka will be manifested. This is the way, so that the whole world will be put to shame. And the British in particular will be put to shame this fraud, this abomination they have committed in the so-called Nigeria. And that is why they are fighting. And we must not miss this standing order is the only way. But if we say we are not going to do the other thing, we are hiding from. It's necessary that we make the general listen that so that Biafra will be a virgin. If we say we are not going, this one is the only way. Anywhere we see God, you do organize every unit, every context, organize yourself. Be ready to go to prison wherever you see you. Make sure you succeed in asking regret before the police or whoever will come, so that when they are killing, they will not see the truth. The whole world will be put to shame. God bless Biafra. In the name of God, and declares. We say.
Thank you. Caller, your name and where you calling from? Good morning. Go ahead. We are waiting.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Biafra. I'm calling from Lagos, Australia. Good morning, afternoon, celebrations and lovers of freedom. Wherever you're listening from this afternoon. May God Almighty continue to bless our people, our leader and the leadership of religious people of Biafra until this our land completely restored. Now, Alozie, I was listening to your analysis as usual. This times, I do wonder, I begin to think, what is actually wrong with our people? Just like the article you just, the write-up you just analyzed here. Now you see that, most of when these people write, these people who are opposing what we're doing, you see that they expose their ignorance. They end up exposing their stupidity. That is one thing they achieve in doing all this. Like, you always say, for instance, if you think of, like what they are saying, if you think you want opinion or contrary opinion, present a good front, you can come on this platform to expunge that which we think is an option or way out. Then allow others to come on
on any of these platforms as well to dissect what you have said. Perhaps, if you think you have an argument, maybe you might reserve the time or any platform or 30 minutes as the case may be for you to come and talk all the things you think is a point. And we will come here and prove to you point to point why all the things you have said are not valid. Yes, we'll put that to you. So it is very important. And sometimes when you look at these people who are opposing, you find out that one, they impersonate a referendum. Most of them are not actually our people. And even though they are, these people are bereaved of ideas. These people are writing, they are bereaved of ideas. Because, like a professor, Lumumba will always say, ignorance is an industry. Property is an industry. And this is a tool designed by the imperialists in order to keep on benefiting from the suffering of Africans. And when people are poor, they don't tend to be educated or to get a better education in one way or the other. Now, they will be assuming that they are learned in their own way. That is what they normally assume. If not that majority of people come on this platform to hear this gospel, preach on this different platform on a daily basis, our people will have been still having primitive ideology and thinking as we used to in the past. Now, how do we are paying for the lectures we receive here on a daily basis? Only if it is school, formal school, many people will not come because they wouldn't afford it. So because of the state of ignorance of many people, they don't know to comprehend. And the worst part of it is, they do not allow themselves to learn new things or unlearn what they have learned or what they think they have learned in the past. Now they implemented a lockdown. They seized the Imo State, declare curfew, and use that opportunity to allow the invaders in our land. If not that our youth we are listening, coming on this different platform to listen to the gospel, they wouldn't have been woken up from their slumber. Now because they come to this school, University of Biafra on a daily basis, they have learned. Their mentality has changed because they hear it every day as the world has it. Faith coming by hearing and by hearing of the word. So when they are hearing it constantly every day, their mentality begin to get reset. And they begin to think the right way and to do the right thing. And that was why you saw that resistance yesterday in Imo State, even though it was a midnight. Because the same midnight, the invader wanted to kill us all. So what are we really seeing? And most of the people, slave mentality has eaten them up. That even though you are showing them or teaching them the right thing, why it is important or what it is justified that Biafra should exist, they are thinking in the diverse manner. The mentality of slavery has eaten some of them up. Perhaps some of them are not interested in when we benefit the realities of the people, rather when we satisfy their immediate needs. That is why you see some of them behave or think the way they think. Now, going to the angle of Yoruba people, now it has been proven time and numbers that, sorry to say this, Yoruba people can never be reliable. Sorry to say this, I have to say, they can never. I know that they have some good people. And when I read the making of this statement, there are good people. See, to me, it is kind of being politically correct. I know individually there are some persons, but the larger portion or larger chunk of this race are never reliable in all their ways. Have led them in different endeavors. I've worked with them in different areas of Pastafa. I have to say that these people, even in the military, these people are never reliable, believe me. I'm telling you the gospel truth. Therefore, we rely on nobody. The only people we rely on is God Almighty Chukwuemeka. Then, one thing we needed most is consistent. And when we remain consistent, we will achieve that which we intend to achieve. We are not looking further. We are not looking further. to Yoruba people and giving us any assistance because they don't have any. And the history has a way of repeating itself. The same thing Alozie did in the past. They will repeat that. Forget the handshake across Niger. Forget all the things you are seeing. All the people who know Amotokun uniform and implemented the law and order. Everything vanished in a twinkle of an eye. You know that before they struck Nabula, they bomb blast. You know that the government of Lagos State is aware. Now, I will tell you that. Why did I say that? We had a classified information. The only that the information was not acted upon so early by the group of Lagos as a dead because we got a shock that look at what is about to happen. And we are saying they are going to act on it and order before they could be able to take a step to act on that information, which people sure. But then that intelligence, that information, that intel has come. So these people know what they are doing. And it's not only that people are threatening the virus, but they are conspiring with them to perpetrate evil. The audio you're listening about Kunle and Alhaji is a reality, it's not a joke. Everything they have perfected on how to go. So all of you should not put your trust on this race because they will never be there for anybody. That is their lifestyle. In fact, that is their destiny. So we have to fall a political front. The minority, the Judas, the Philippines will continue to be there. But in our resolveness, our steadfast, our steadiness, our truthfulness, our resolve, we will get to where we want to get. That is the assurance from God. As long as we remain unchanged and continue to persecute and listen as instructed by the leadership, certainly we will get to that place we want to get at the weekend. Thank you, Mazi, Alozie. I have to work, but others will come. God bless Biafra.
God bless you too. Thank you very much. Thank you. They have the information, they know what they're doing, they know the plans, and then they'll keep it to themselves. And that's why nobody showed up after the bombing. They destroy you, they destroy your things. And you're hoping to be one. They are killing you, and you hope to be one. They are taking your land, you hope to be one. And give them the opportunity. When they kill you and take your land, then I will know where the oneness will come from. People are naive. Our people are in denial. And the investment you've made so much, you stand to lose it, just like the bomb blast. It won't just like twinkle of an eye. Then that leaves you either with your life or your property, whichever one you value most. You value your life, you exit. You value your property, you stay. And then you lose your property and still lose your life. The call number is +1 484767 0848 +1 484767 0848. I know that the line is blocking. Let me redo it. It happens when the call is heavy, so it blocks. So let me reopen it. Let us be very wise. Okay, our leader has done marvelously very well. He has put his pride online for you and me. What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? You don't be lazy. You don't wait for somebody to come and do everything for you. You see, we are too good at begging. We are too good at waiting for handout. There were some printouts. I read everything. There are some things I wanted to comment on today. I just let it go because this one needed to be addressed. If you don't, it starts flying everywhere. And this is where our writers need to come into to counter it, to challenge it. Because if you leave it like that, they'll come to believe that it is practicable. They'll come to believe that it is worth trying. I don't know why you can try it. I don't know why you come to believe stuff like that. I don't know. Or you want to go and buy a new chair, buy all this and that, but you don't have an apartment. So what do? You buy them and then you go to storage room and put them in there. You spend your money buying the furniture and then you spend your money storing it. Then I wonder what in fact you are trying to do. Call out your name and where you calling from. Call out your name and where you calling from. Your line dropped, so yep. That's why I rebooted the phone. It's been coming in and dropping. Let us challenge ourselves. Don't wait on anybody. Don't rely on anybody, because you're going to be disappointed. They group themselves together, they plan together, they conspire against you. As long as things are not good with you, things are not working well for you, they're happy. They're happy. They welcome it. Because they know that once all is fine with you, they will lose. Do we really want them to lose? No. It's when it's good for me, then it'll be good for you. But for us to see that things will be good for us and then we try to help you and you're mocking us, that means the trust is not there. The trust is not there. No trust, no confidence, no reliability. I can't rely on you doing what you say you're going to do, because at the end of the day you will turn around and go a different direction. That's the way I look at it. Call out your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ms. Urapa. Welcome. How are you?
May God bless all of you. I pray that God will give us our heart desire. God will protect me on the time. Protect us all. Protect all of you. We are struggling for us to see. Protect my brother, okay, sorry. He's from my maternal place. He thank you. May God bless you. If you start looking at what Yorubas are doing to us, if we see them, we won't be able to talk to them. But we forget them, we forget. This one shows people that Igbos have good hearts. They don't have immunity against their neighbor. Igbos love strangers. They love other people. If other people don't love us, I don't know why. But all, because when you see some Igbo man, when you do something, they will say, well, it's after you tell them sorry, they will just forget and forgive. It's not like that for that tribe. They just have that hatred against us. Yes, God will fight our battle. God will free us from their hatred mind. But I don't know whether where you see this, I wanted to share this thing. They just block it and remove it. You are open to all the money. They are never see this kind of money before.
I've seen it. It rusted. It's molded. I saw all those things, but I didn't want.
The money catch fire.
Yeah, I didn't.
You see,
it caught fire.
It burned. Some of them burned. I don't know whether it's him.
Yeah, I thought it was molded. I saw it. I didn't know it burned.
But I fear. Even on the pond, where this man made money. Hey, Chineke, one madman just promote Holy Ghost fire. So this man will come and stand at the altar. They pray. They call God. Why these people will be feared? Only God is too merciful. And the day God will reward them is one day. When I see this money, I want to share it to people. They just block it and remove it. May God help you people. May God continue to strengthen you people. At the end, everyone of us will bow down the land of Biafra and worship God. God will hear our prayer. Because we never relate for praying, asking God to free us because we have been in slavery for a long time. I don't know whether people are not seeing what I'm seeing. Why will I have the contact with this people? Even when God sees us, even when I see something like this, I will not even like to, because they have done much great harm. May God bless you, brother.
God bless you too.
Thank you.
Thank you. That is the thing we are facing. That is the honesty of our people, and that is the extent of their honesty. And they are the ones telling you to obey the law and do this and that. They keep stealing your money. I still ask the question: why will Ipob impose dusk to dawn curfew, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. to bring in the Fulanis and his 5G? If not, tell me what warranted that curfew. I'll still need the explanation. Call out your name and where you're calling from.
Mazi, good morning.
Good morning from here.
My name is Alozie. I'm calling from New Jersey, USA.
Welcome.
I am from Abriba. Thank you, sir. I am from Abriba. Abriba is in Rapture local government area, Maya province of Biafra land. Mazi, to add to the conversation, I know you do not have too much time, so I will skip some of the announcements that I wanted to make. But it gets to me when our enemies use the events of 1967 to 1970 as a tool of intimidation, as a means to instill fear in us, Biafrans. But they forget that during that time, 1967 to 1970, they did not defeat us militarily. The little they accomplished was because of the blockade instituted by Britain and the support of their Egyptian and Russian powers. And at the time, we had not built the kind of coalition to match those foreign powers that were helping them. The first and only time in history that Britain and Russia collaborated in a war to fight against a small tiny nation of Biafra. It is a monumental mistake for our enemies to believe that if any kind of conflict, nobody's paying for it. But we need to state it, that if any kind of occurrence, if something reoccurs, if a conflict reoccurs, as the circumstances that played out for them in 70 will never play out again. The chances of that happening are almost zero. The coalition we are building now, when that day comes, they will see the coalition we've already built that are backing us. Apart from that, they forget that during that time, Israel was engaged in their conflict with Lebanon and did not have the time to assist us. Also, U.S. was involved in the Vietnam War, which took up all of the attention and focus and resources. To pray for that situation to play out again it will be a monumental mistake. What am I saying to Biafra? We are not cowards. If you have any spirit of cowardice in you, go and expunge it down. You should be resolute. We are not afraid of them, and they could not box us in the corner and continue to use 67-70 conflict as a knife on our neck. No, we are not afraid of them. They will never defeat us in a conflict. I always use the soccer analogy. You do always talk about Buhari sitting there watching Champions League. So let me use this one, Champions League analogy. This is watching Champions League. Okay, watching Champions League. This year, Barcelona and Liverpool were playing, I believe it's in the semi-finals of the Champions League. First leg, Barcelona wired Liverpool 3-0. I also believe I've heard Onyedu say that he's a fan of Liverpool. Barcelona wired Liverpool 3-0 in the first leg, and all of them were celebrating, thinking that it's over. In the second leg, what happened? Liverpool fired them 4-0, even with Messi on the field. The same thing will happen if they start another conflict against us. Or Biafra. In the second leg, we wired them 4-0. Or Biafra. Thank you, Mazi, Alozie, for the time ever for this. Thank you for the great job you're doing. 4-0. Thank you, Mazi, Alozie.
Thank you very much. And this is where we will call it the day. I'll not take any more calls. The time is up. South Africa is coming next. Directed your calls to South Africa. And that's it. Thank you for joining us. We'll be on the air again tomorrow, and join us. We will deal with some more issues. We will start to look at people, the way they think, the way they write, and how it applies to us, and the way we respond to them. If we don't do that, we won't get anywhere. And that question of don't mind them, and who is them, and they're the ones doing the damage. Each nonsense they write, they convince the unbelievers, and then you try to correct the rubbish they are writing. Like they come, they put up lies and want you to accept the lies. They want it to be true. But wishful thinking. And that shows how far they hate you and the extent of it. Thank you very much.